Hello everybody, welcome to Chinese Pod. I'm Joy.
And I'm Joe.
Today we're going to talk about 成语 related to 马, which is?
Horse.
What do you know about horses? Any Chinese words that come to mind?
What comes to my mind is 马上, which is on the horse immediately.
Yeah, so immediately or quickly or rapidly. So horses, I think in all cultures, represent an animal that's really fast and gets things done. And sometimes, they can go pretty wild as well.
Okay.
So today's 成语, we're going to talk about wild horses or crazy ideas or maybe doing something really rushed but in not such a precise way. Let's look at the 成语 now. All right, so our first 成语 about 马 is 天马行空.
Okay, so we have heaven and horse. Like a flying horse, something?
Yes, like a Pegasus or a unicorn, a mythical creature in old Chinese culture. And what are we doing? 行空.
空 is sky, and 行 refers to some kind of movement or walking, running.
So literally it translates to the sky horse is running in the air.
Flying, probably, in
Flying
this case.
in the air. So this is talking about wild ideas that are everywhere. So very fantastical or imaginative. And we can use this to describe a person, ideas, painting, something abstract that is hard to get your mind around.
Okay.
Do you have an example of something we can use 天马行空 for?
Maybe a crazy, because we're wild, you said wild horses before, right? So maybe a movie that has many different thoughts put into this movie?
Ah, okay. So it's full of imagination. We can say 这部电影天马行空很有想法.
Ah, so there's a lot of ideas in this movie. It's going wild.
Yeah. So I would probably think of like a Wes Anderson or a Quentin Tarantino movie, something that a lot of people might not understand, but it's fantastical.
Okay.
We can also use this to describe a painting, like abstract art, for example.
Okay. So you mean like Salvador Dali painting melting clocks and these kind of wild thoughts?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody understands them. So I can say, 达利的画天马行空，大家都看不懂。
So Salvador Dali's pictures are crazy like flying horses in the sky, so nobody understands them.
No one understands. Or we can also use 天马行空 to talk about someone who writes like a flowery type of calligraphy.
Because calligraphy, you have to start moving like big movements basically, right? When
Yeah.
you take the
And each person has a different font, different strokes, so the exact same words actually can look totally unrecognizable. And sometimes it's just it's just adding their own creativity to it. So we can say, 他的字天马行空，非常好看。
So this is telling about something good. Like calligraphy is like flying horses, but it looks very good.
Okay, so the next 成语 I have not only has horses, but also tigers. This one is 马马虎虎.
Horse, horse, tiger, tiger. And this one is one of the first ones I learned in my Chinese classes. I didn't know that it was a 成语 by that time, but it's just a cute thing to remember. And I learned it as an answer to a question like how you like something.
Ah, so I'll ask you, 你觉得那部电影怎么样?
How do I find this movie? Ma ma hu hu.
那你觉得这食物怎么样?
This food, how is it? Ma ma hu hu.
那你觉得我的头发怎么样?
Ma ma hu hu. So I guess you get the feeling. It's so, but the last one was not. I was not honest about it. It's beautiful.
So, 马马虎虎, horse, horse, tiger, tiger. It's a funny story, actually, because horses and tigers kind of look a little bit similar if somebody was drawing a sketch. So a long time ago in the Song Dynasty, an artist was drawing a sketch. And they couldn't tell the difference between whether it was a horse or a tiger because he kind of changed it in the middle and just added on and changed it. And he was like, well, they both have stripes. I'm going to change the head a little bit. So it's
just like this.
Could be either one.
More or less the same. Like I just painted it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like this kind of feeling. So it's the same.
Yeah. So we can use this not only to respond to not really particularly liking something, but also to somebody who does work that is kind of not so complete or not to perfection or not to up to a really good standard. Maybe kind of subpar work.
Like the painting from that short story.
Exactly. So I can say, 他做事不认真，常常马马虎虎。
So he's not working nicely, seriously. He's just like fuzzing about something, like not doing it nicely.
Okay, I've got one more. It's a piece of advice. 学习不能马马虎虎。
Okay, so when you study, you shouldn't do it like horse, horse, tiger, tiger. You have to be serious about your studies, I think.
You have to commit to it. Or if I were to comment on somebody's subpar, sometimes good, sometimes bad Chinese ability, I can say, 他的中文马马虎虎.
Okay, now you're getting this. This is the so-so again, right?
Yeah.
His Chinese is so-so. I hope you don't talk about me.
No, 你中文很好。
谢谢. So you can use 马马虎虎 to say that something is so-so, like this movie was 马马虎虎, or you can describe actions that are done in an imprecise or not serious manner.
Okay, the next 成语 we have is 走马看花.
Okay, so 走马 is to ride a horse. And then 看 to watch or look at something, and 花 is flowers. So to ride a horse and watch at the flowers at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly that motion.
Okay.
So in Old Chinese, 走 is actually run. So we commonly will hear 走路, that's walking. This is the adapted modern version. So 走马 is riding quickly on a horse while looking at the flowers. So you're basically just kind of passing by or glancing without doing something very carefully, without looking at something very carefully. So let me give you an example. 今天时间不够，我们只好走马看花。
Okay, so the time is not enough, so we have to kind of hurry up and like look at everything, but that means that we cannot look at everything in detail, right?
Yeah.
We don't have time to spend a lot, so like...
So I would say if we're traveling to Europe, for example, and we're probably like rushed for time, or maybe it's with a tour group. This happens a lot in China. There are these tour groups and they're running through things very quickly. So they have to 走马看花, which is pass by, take a few pictures of the Eiffel Tower,
next one.
and run. Okay, so another sentence I can say is I could ask you a question. Maybe I could see that you're walking quite quickly. So I might say, 你这样走马看花能看到什么?
Ah, so you want to go a little bit slower, right? Because you think like, oh, if you walk that quickly, can you even see anything like for real?
Yeah, exactly. So it's good to slow down and smell the roses. Okay, one more sentence for you. This is about Europe. 我去过欧洲，但只是走马看花，没看到什么。
Okay, that's exactly what you just said, like those tour buses coming to Europe for, 9 days and going through 5 different countries.
Oh my
and
gosh,
just like,
yeah. That happens to a lot of people. I would prefer to stay in one country for an extended period of time, so I don't have to 走马看花. Or even if I did, I would do it slowly at my own pace.
In today's lesson, we have talked about 3 different 成语 that all have the character 马 inside. And 马 means horse and can normally relate to like some kind of speed. So the first 成语 we had was related to crazy ideas that fly around in the sky like flying horses.
天马行空.
Then we talked about something being so sort of directly in the middle between horses and tigers.
马马虎虎
And then we talked about riding a horse and at the same time watching flowers.
走马看花
So something that is very superficial.
啊，Joe，我有一个天马行空的想法。
You have a crazy idea.
I have 3 days vacation and I really want to go to Europe.
这个想法马马虎虎
Why?
That's not enough time. Like 3 days for Europe, you'd be spending more time on the plane than being able to see anything.
True. 我也只能走马看花。
Yep,
I guess I have to wait till I have 3 weeks vacation.
definitely better.
Oh, so sad. Okay, well, if you have any sentences or you know any other 成语 with 马, feel free to leave them down below. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Joy.
And I'm Joe.
下次见，拜拜。
Bye-bye.